Also today, I want to highlight that we are honored to have special guests. We have Sean and Mallory Nickerson, the Reverend Mallory Nickerson, and she's got some special ministry that she's doing on our behalf in the community, and what a great time. I'm going to impose upon her to come up and tell us what she's doing.
You know, there's nothing like visiting a church and then immediately being called upon by the pastor to come on down front and speak a few words. Many of you know me, as I know many of you, because prior to July of this year, I was the pastor at Bel Air and Osceola, and so I've been here for Lenten services with you. I've been directing the Back to School Bash for 8 years until this year when I passed it along. And so in many ways, Pleasant Hill feels like a part of my ministry story. And so thank you for a warm welcome this morning. But as of July 1st of this year, I took a new appointment. I work now for the South Carolina Annual Conference. But I am appointed in the Rock Hill District as a co-pastor of a new ministry called The Circuit. We are a church without walls. We're a new sort of ministry. Much of what we do happens in borrowed spaces and public places, like coffee shops and restaurants and living rooms. We'll gather with people wherever they are, at whatever part of their faith journey they are, and for many, that is no faith journey at all. At least they don't have the language for it. And so we're meeting with folks in groups of 12 to 20 people and building what might have been at one point known as house churches, but house churches is a little bit outdated because it happens in all sorts of places, like parks and coffee shops and those sorts of things now. It's very, very exciting. And I know that everyone here has someone in their life who says, you know what, I appreciate that you are a good, faithful Christian and you go to church, but church just isn't for me. And that is how this ministry started, is running into so many people that I would have great conversations with about spirituality, about religion, but who had no interest in stepping foot in a church with walls. And we said, well, what can we do in this day and in this time with the resources that we have to gather people? Because Jesus didn't say wherever there are 4 walls and some pews and a font and an altar, Jesus said where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name. And so we are gathering with people wherever they are. And it's brand new. We are sort of making it up every day as we go. But in the most exciting way, I've met so many people in just a month's time of this kind of ministry. And we are appointed to the entire Rock Hill District. So that's primarily York, Lancaster, and Chester counties. But at the same time, we're also, as we meet people and they say, hey, I'm looking for a church. Then I say, you know what? I know this great pastor, Pete Berntson, who's at Pleasant Hill, and I think that you should meet him. If they say to me, I don't have any interest in church, then I say, hey, well, let's just keep having this conversation. And so in many ways, what we're doing is just working for the United Methodist Church to make sure that we are making disciples of Jesus Christ, that this world might be transformed. And that is an exciting ministry, and I'm happy that Pete asked me to say a word about it this morning. So thank you. And if you have anybody that you'd love for me to meet, please don't ever hesitate to reach out. Thanks.